So in the second part of the integrative video series, I'd like to really address the idea of exponentials. Exponentials often are somewhat marginalized in the domain of typical integral thinkers. It's not that it's not addressed necessarily, but it's not talked about very much. But I'm going to argue here that it's a very essential thing to really getting ground or footing in the world space, that is to say, on everybody's mind, on how I believe integrative thinking is emerging. So the idea of an exponential particularly relates to our tool building processes. You can go back to at least about the 1900 census on technology and see that there's a steady doubling of processor speed, or if not processor, computational capacity since about 1900. And this actually has huge ramifications. I've talked about this in other videos, but in this one I'll just use this example again because it's so compelling. The Emperor of China, he really liked the game of chess, so he invited the creator of chess to his palace and said, what would you like for a gift for creating such a brilliant game? And he said, give me 1 grain of rice on the first square, 2 on the second, 4 on the third, 8 on the fourth, and continue to the 64th square. By the 32nd square, you have about a Mount Everest of rice, and the 33rd, 2 Mount Everest of rice. This is the profound reality of exponentials. We don't tend to think exponentially, we think linearly. We see a horse on the horizon, and we want to catch it so that we could have a riding partner, and we look to 2 kilometers to the left, and we'll say we'll cut them off in the past. It's a very linear process. However, computer, our technology, our creation, our tools really are doubling. They're doubling in speed because the processor is now leaching into many different domains, biotech, nanotech. It's becoming integrated into the fabric of our world. So it's something that we have to really think hard about. And exponentials are at the heart of how this works. And so in an integrative context, this looks at now our brains as sort of information. We are information according to this theory. Typically, people like Ray Kurzweil think that way. And that's a stepping stone to more integrative thinking, where that dualism that we see in Cartesian dualism, such as the universe is a clock and it's ticking, and if we understood all of how this clock worked, we could predict all the atoms in the future because it would just be one just massively deterministic clock. This kind of complexity theory that we dip into with exponential thinking, augments that a little bit. It looks at this system as being a system of patterns, but yet maybe not completely deterministic patterns. That moves us in the direction that we probably want to go roughly when we're looking into the integral domain.